happened to Antonio Brown's career. Cam Newton has real structure, and I'm all in on it. Cam Newton, who's got all sorts of flair, just joined the best system and the best structure in the NFL. Mechanics, no more sloppy throws. Won't be tolerated. His mechanics are the best I've seen since he was a rookie. Ad-libbing, you're still allowed to do that. New England allows you to do Superman, have fun at practice, wear the big hats, have some personality, but no more series just mailing it in. No more taking it off. Every single series has a point of view. Talent with structure is Russell Wilson. It's LeBron James. Talent without structure that doesn't want to be coached, that can be difficult, is what Kyrie Irving's careers look like post-LeBron. OBJ, post-Tom Coughlin. OBJ wants to be coached. He wants to be coached. Most great players want to be coached. Kevin Durant does. LeBron does. Anthony Davis does. Sometimes the coaching stinks. And sometimes the athletes, don't want to deal with it. Cam is embracing it because nobody coaches it like New England. This is the first time I watched Cam, and he's not a rental player for New England. Well, this works. If you gave him one vertical threat, if you gave him a Tyreek Hill, if New England could actually draft a receiver, if you gave him a Travis Kelce, this team would be a handful. You wouldn't want to play this team if you're Andy Reid. You wouldn't want to play this team. Now, this team does not have a vertical dimension, and it limits them. So there's kind of one way they could win. Last night's a shootout, and that's not best served for New England. But here's what's interesting. I could make an argument this is the least talented offense in terms of personnel. Rex Burkhead, Julian Edelman, N'Keal Harry, no great tight end. This is the least talented offense. No Christian McCaffrey here. No Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore here. No Greg. Well, there's Greg Olsen, but he's the older Greg Olsen here. And yet, what did Cam Newton do? Oh, wait, he completed 68% of his throws, way above his career average, and his passer rating was in the mid-90s against Pete Carroll and Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams. Structure matters, and Cam's embracing it. Too many people push back. Oh, I don't want to eat the same thing every month. I don't want to be coached. Cam's like, I'm in it. I need it. I want it. And look at him. And I'll tell you the thing that jumped out to me. His mechanics have always been kind of hot and cold. I think his mechanics now are excellent. And I've always been a critic of Cam Newton. But if that's the Cam I get, I'm good. You can win that. Belichick, that defense, and that Cam, they are basically a vertical dimension away from being a handful. Maybe they get it in the draft. Maybe they get it in free agency. Maybe they go ahead and get OBJ. But what I'm watching right there looks like Cam has put his arms around the system. The system, Bill Belichick's put his arms around Cam. What a pleasure to watch. That's football. The player's getting the most out of the team, and the team's getting the most out of the player. And that's why I love football. It is structure. It gave me structure. My Sundays are structured. I've got everything written out, and everybody needs structure. Michael Jordan, the 2 times he had the best coaches, Carolina Dean Smith and Phil Jackson, with the great structures, he won championships. When he didn't have the coach who didn't have the triangle offense, or he didn't have the college, he didn't win. LeBron James was at his best, the best team he ever played on. Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, D. Wade, people that thrive in structure. So as far as giving Cam the ball in the last play of the game, listen, what is my rule? I said this last week with Joy. When you get down to a play of the game and you give it to your best player, I'm all good. I mean, that was Cam Newton against, the entire city of Seattle. If he goes outside, maybe he scores. I'm not going to blame him. He had 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, played great. I thought he was tremendous. But I'll never bang on a football coaching staff when on the biggest play of the game, you give it to your best player. Cam was on fire, playing with a ton of confidence, making great decisions, playing smart football. Oh, God, he couldn't beat 11 guys. Here's Cam after.
Yeah, it was a great play by them. That's a play we had favorite in the game plan. We ran it a couple times and figured, just think we probably went to the well too many times. But at the end of the day, I felt confident about it. We just got to execute. And I could have bounced it, looking at the clip. I just got to be better.
I'm good with it. If that's the Cam Newton I get, he's a Patriot. He's not a rental player. That's a real NFL quarterback. You know, it's funny in this league. You know, you get drafted by a team, and if it doesn't go well, like Sam Darnold, you may not get a second chance. Like for Cam, great Cam, hurt Cam, Cam Act 2. I mean, I'm all in on this. I thought he was great. Including the MVP year. I like this Cam more. Structured Cam, dependable Cam, good mechanics Cam, and yes, he can still do a Superman. I'm okay with that. It's okay. You can have a little flair. You can have a little flair, but I'll tell you, flair needs structure more than structure needs flair. All right, let's shift to this. I'll give the Dallas Cowboys credit. First of all, that first quarter was a mess. You got to give Dallas credit for this. They just kept fighting. And this is one of the things I like about Dak. Dak's formidable. You talk about leadership. Leaders don't quit. They just kept playing hard. But let me ask you about this. Sometimes you need to ignore the result in life. If my kids run into traffic and don't get hit by a car, I'm not going, excellent job, excellent job. I'm chewing them out. Sometimes you got to ignore the result. There are lessons to be learned. And I would ask this about Dallas. What do they do well? I mean, compete to the end, but I mean, multiple fumbles, 2 fake punts, lousy execution, weird late game strategy. It's not just schemes. They're not close defensively in the secondary. I mean, they have talented individuals. I would not deny that. But what collectively does Dallas do well? What can you put your arms around? Okay, they competed till the end. Well, you're kind of you're paid to do that. But when I look at Dallas, I see Amari Cooper and Zeke and Dak. But you know what's happening to Dallas? They're starting to look a lot like last year by week 2. Zeke's going to get a lot of yards. Dak's going to get a lot of yards. They're going to have 3 1,000-yard receivers, and they're not going to be able to beat good teams. They're going to beat Atlanta. They're starting to look like last year, which is you're going to get some individual performances. Dak's going to have a bunch of yards. Amari Cooper's fantastic. Zeke, I love Zeke. There's nothing about him I don't like. Not quite as good as 2 years ago. Love him. But collectively, what do you rely on? If you look at Dak's final numbers, if you look at those and you look at the final score, if you look at the results, you're like, whoo, party. But this is a good fantasy team. This is a good highlights team. Do you believe this morning, if you're a Cowboy fan, it's a good football team? I don't. And by the way, Mike McCarthy, we've said this in the last couple of weeks, he's trying too hard. In week 1, he wanted to show that he wasn't conservative against Sean McVay, so he went for it in an obvious kick-a-field-goal situation. Yesterday, he reverted back to the old conservative Mike McCarthy facing a defensive coach, and at the end of the game, after the onside kick, they get a nice reception to CeeDee Lamb, and then they run, kneel. It's like a 46-yard field goal. I mean, I know you have a great kicker. Atlanta was gassed. Atlanta was tired. Atlanta couldn't stop anybody. Come on. This is the time to be aggressive. 36-yard field goals, even for a great kicker, are easier than 46-yard field goals. I don't think Dallas knows what they are. And I think self-identity is a real thing in the NFL. Like, already, New England knows what they are. They knew what they were first series. We're going to run the football, control the clock, put it in Cam's hands, give him a lot of time to throw, play great defense, hit our field goals. New England's identified, they always do this, exactly what they are. Lamar Jackson to Baltimore, very early in his career, they identified what they were. What is Dallas? They fight. I don't know what they are. I don't know what collectively they do very well. I mean, Mike McCarthy saw it as a strident. This win it means something, and I just don't know what it means other than they're not beating good teams with that performance.
You know, you look at past experiences, you look at any great season that you're able to put together. You have big moments that you're able to build off of. This is a big moment to build off of. But you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, we're 1-1. We find out a lot about ourselves today, and And that was really the message at halftime. And once again, I can't say how proud I am of our players.
I didn't see that.